Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for this video. Today we're going to be talking about how I sharpen mower blades. For some reason it seems like there can be some controversy on this topic as far as people have very strong opinions on how to sharpen mower blades and things like that. But today I got a few questions recently on how I personally sharpen my mower blades. So whether that's right or wrong, I'm going to show you exactly how I work on my mower blades and show you how to sharpen them. Alright, so let's first talk about what your options are in terms of sharpening blades. So this is something that I used to use quite a bit. This is an angle grinder. I used to use this last season, and it's kind of what I started out with, thinking that that was going to be the tool of choice for me. And this thing can work, but in a second I'm going to explain to you why I switched to a different method. Hopefully you're going to be able to see that here, but there's a specific angle on this blade right here, and we need to maintain that angle, the original one from the factory, because it was designed to work that way. So the problem that I have with this tool is that I just don't feel comfortable enough maintaining that angle, and I probably just need some more practice on it. But I just switched to a little bit easier option for me, and I'm going to show you what I use. And that would be just a good old file. This takes just a little bit more extra manual work, but if you maintain your blades more often, it's not going to be quite as difficult. I tend to maintain them a little bit more and keep them sharp just because you can kind of touch things up with this tool pretty easily. You don't have to go too crazy like it is with the grinder. And overall, I just feel like it's a little bit easier to maintain that angle. Alright, I have a blade set up here to just kind of show you how it works. So essentially it's easier, as I mentioned, to keep your angle here because you can just kind of rest this exactly on this angle, and then I just move it across here in an upward motion and a little bit to the side. And again, you can kind of feel this angle. You don't want to tilt either way. Just want to stay right on there and then just go in nice, smooth motion. There's pretty much what we're left with after the file. Just a nice edge there. We're not razor sharp. We just kind of have a good edge. There's a few nicks in this blade. This is an old blade, so I'm just kind of showing you this as an example. But I'm going to take my blades off my Time Master today and sharpen those up, and I'll show you the results of that. Alright, hopefully you can see there, these blades are in pretty good shape already. We're just going to be touching them up a little bit. Then really you don't want to sharpen this other side, but I normally just run the file just very lightly across here. Just once, just take off any of those little burrs or any of the metal that kind of curled over a little bit right there. Other than that, these are pretty easy to clean up. Okay, next step we're going to do is kind of clean off the blades a little bit. There's always some grass built up on there. And then I'm also going to show you how I balance them. Now, I don't know whether or not the tool that I have is all that scientific in terms of balancing, but I do it just in case to kind of test and make sure there's nothing that looks extremely off as far as balance goes. So what would work well in terms of cleaning off these blades, you can see that I've already scraped this one off a little bit, but the underside just got a little bit of grass on it. I just use my little scraper that I've kind of carved off the edges here with my grinder to make this work. This is just a putty knife, but I'll try to find something and put it in the description below as far as something you can use that's plastic to scrape your mower underneath and also clean off these blades a little bit. A wire brush would probably be the best bet. I don't have one handy on me right now, so I usually just scrape these blades with this thing. So now this little tool right here is just a little blade balancer I picked up pretty cheap. I think it's only a few dollars, but I'll put a link to it in the description as well. You just want to set your mower blade on here. Now we have everything cleaned off. Try to get it centered on there if you can. And then what we're looking for is to see whether it balances side to side. So we wanted to make sure that there's not one side a little bit lower than the other. It looks like this side is just a little touch lower right now. So I'm going to take a little bit more metal off of that side and then that way we'll try to balance it out a little bit better. Alright, so now I've taken a little bit more metal off there. It's looking pretty good now side to side. You want to be on a level surface, and you have to try to really center that piece in there, otherwise you're going to be off balance anyway. So again, not the most scientific thing in the world, but I just do it just to test to make sure that nothing seems extremely off as far as balance goes. And then of course, while you have your blades off, it's a good time to clean the underside of your mower deck. I do this quite often anyway because especially in the springtime there's a flush of growth. It's usually wet grass. It kind of gets in there. Things get pretty clumped up in the deck. It's very important to make sure that that gets cleaned out so you have really good airflow. So that's pretty much the process. I'll have a link to all the tools that I used in the description below so you can check those out as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching this one. We'll see you next time.